Hey folks, welcome back. We are continuing our work on the Eberron adventure we've been developing, Plague Mists, the Crystal Plague of Mabar. We're just going to get some, we're just putting in the hours, getting stuff done. So give me a hot second here to hit my signal, and then we'll dive further into this stuff. Hold on. Where am I at? Here with my channel. Tube. No, that's not what I want. Channel. Here. Am I audible? Barely. There we go. All right, cool. And just gotta hit the twit, and then we are good to go. So you can see here we're working on the the fortress section of the encounter right now, and that is the map that we're looking at. Let me adjust my bits here, and here. Cool. Let me go ahead and shift this stuff to be like that here. And okay, so there's the map that we're working on, but we're actually going to be working on text. So we've got our windows here we're working on, and we're going to scroll down to where the fort is at. Because we are writing text. That's where we are at right now, which is good. And Andy has done a lot of help with fleshing out the text in these things. But right now we're working on technical bits. So there are some reformations that are required. Let's see the fort. Here is the fort that we have, which corresponds here. That is all good, but we're fleshing out the dots. We got the encampment here. We got the encampment here. Then we've got the moat area here, and then we've got. I should actually. Move the dot to here. 1, 2, and you got the path leading to the top side lab entrance, and then we've got 4, which is just this stuff. So 1, 2, 3. You got 4, which is the actual ruined fortress, and then you got 5, which is the ladder down, which leads to 6, the blockade that they put to the underground tunnel. 7, here's the breach in the tunnel that leads to this drain ditch by number 4, which the Carnegie soldiers don't know about yet. And then you got the tunnel that leads 600 feet. 600 feet to the bulkhead. This is all underwater from the rainwater and sludge pouring in, so undead are crawling out of that hole, and water is pouring in, and then it goes downhill another 130 feet to this point here. It goes down 300 feet from this point, so you skip 300 feet and the water line hits here, and this is where it actually starts accumulating because it's on a plane. And by the time, let's see, it's 0 feet deep here, but accumulating, it's 5 feet deep here, it's 10 feet deep here. So, and the whole, the tunnel itself is 20 feet, it's 20 feet high. So, you can get the bulkhead door open, but you have to be underwater and performing, exerting yourself underwater with undead attacking you while you're doing it. So it's not the optimal entrance. But it is a path that people can take, so we have to detail all that. So that is what we're in the process of doing right now. So this is a text session. So let's get texty. I don't know how entertaining this stuff is, but honestly, I need to get the hours in. I need to keep pushing the project forward. So if I don't get it done, I gotta do it. Otherwise, it doesn't get done. So here we go. Fort Section 2, which is here, Swamp Bog. Rainwater fills the sunken depression between crumbling ramparts and the long-neglected fortress. The soupy, putrid sludge immediately makes this difficult terrain while trying to move through it. A noxious odor permeates from the mire that nearly takes the hero's breath, if not wearing a plague mask, or if the air around the character isn't freshened. A hero must succeed a Constitution 14 saving throw each round, navigating through the bog, or gain a plague mark. Let's go look at plague marks. So we have revised and improved on plague marks. Here's how plague marks work. When you're in the environment, the manifest zone of Mabar is rotting all the vegetation and living tissue that's in the environment, including creatures that get caught there, eventually turning them undead. For things that are still alive, trying to navigate through this, it's kind of like mustard gas. It's poison. It's not a disease. It's not quite a poison. It's not quite a curse. It's a condition of the manifest zone region. So when you're in the region, here is when you acquire plague marks, they accumulate, and here's the maladies that go along with them. If you have, total marks. If you have a total marks, the DC, depending on where you're at for the Constitution saving throw, changes in the different areas as it gets more and more as the mist gets denser. So initially, when you accumulate marks. With 5 marks, long rests won't recover hit dice, and your constitution and your concentration is at disadvantage. That right away makes players concerned about it and want to try to get rid of it. And we have ways to purge marks later below. Once you accumulate 10, undead within 1 mile of you are drawn to you as the sympathy spell, and will attack you on sight. Perception, investigation, and sense motives are at disadvantage as more and more of this miasma accumulates on you. At 15 marks, there's blinding crystals, which require an action, bonus action, or object interaction each minute. Each minute accumulates crystals. Accumulated marks now are condensed into crystals, gaining 1 mark per minute until you hit 35 marks. So basically, your eyes will start to drip this crusty substance like a mucus, and if you don't brush it away, if you continue to allow it to accumulate after 35 minutes, your face is encased in a crystal hood, which we'll look at here in a few minutes. At 20 marks, undead will crit when they hit you. Saves versus undead are at disadvantage. At 25 marks, your movement is halved. Strength, constitution, and dexterity saving throws are at disadvantage. At 30 marks, you have severe crystals, which requires an action, a bonus action, or an object interaction every round to prevent crystals from accumulating on you. And then you gain 1 mark per round until 35. And then once you hit 35, your face becomes encrusted with a crystal hood. Crystals accumulate on your face, blinding the target. You can't breathe, eat, drink, or speak until the crystals are removed. You will suffocate as normal described in Player's Handbook, page blah. Creatures that die this way rise as undead next round. So that's horrible. You don't want that to happen. Like, if you get marked up and you go to sleep, you'll die. You'll start suffocating and you'll die. So how to get? Let's see. Here's the different areas where the marks trigger. In general, zombies, creatures, or people that have died to this effect that are encoded with the crystals. Whenever a zombie hits target marks, gains a mark. Whenever a zombie drops, if it's a fully encrusted zombie, all within 5 feet gain 2 marks. In the Thorpe, the beginning of the town, the DC is minimal. It takes away a hit die, you gain a mark. If you fail the roll, however badly you fail the roll is how many hit dice you lose, and you gain twice as many marks. If you don't have any hit dice, you are at disadvantage, and you take a hit die of damage along with all these other effects. It's DC 12 in the forest. Becomes DC 14 in the cemetery in the fort area that you're at. Let's see. It's in the swampy bog we're talking about, just being in it, you automatically gain a plague mark each round. Fort area, the submerged passage. It's 2 marks per round if you're underwater trying to figure out the door. The topside entrance, which is the shaft and the stairs down. That is a DC 16. And once you get into the lab itself, it's a DC 18. So it just gets denser and denser, worse and worse. If you miss your mark, you get more and more marks on you. Purging crystals, here's all the different effects. And we're still figuring out if there's like artificers, barbarians, and bards have effects that can purge this, but like lay on hands can get rid of it. Channel divinity can get rid of 5 marks per use. Spells completely purge everything. Bless spell, cure wounds, healing word, protection. This is just, here's all the spells that you can cast that immediately get rid of all marks on you. So by the time you're flicking things out of your eyes, you're probably going to want to throw a 1st or 2nd level spell at it. If you're all the way up to the point where you've got like 30 marks on you, you're going to want to get rid of it. There's also, let's see, skills include skills, tools, medicine kit, requires short rest to resolve, requires short rest. Poisoner kit requires short rest. I think there's an herbalism kit. I'm going to verify these things. Requires short rest. I think that's all this. I think that's all the skills. So you have those things: short rest, purge all, purge all, purge all, purge all. You got the barbarian. Andy and I are still sussing those out. Spells that can purge marks. Here's all the way up to, it's an 8th level adventure, but here's all the things up to 5th level, in case your character has a scroll or something you don't anticipate them having access to. So removing crystals from your face. So if you've gotten so far that you're accumulating crystals on your face, one of the purging effects, or you can deal 20 damage to the hood that's being built. Radiant damage deals full damage to the hood, none to the target. Bludgeoning damage deals half damage to the hood, half to the target. And all other damage deals no damage to the hood, and all damage to the target. So the only ways you can get rid of it is radiant and bludgeon. I mean, you can always just punch people to get the stuff off of there. So when chunks of the crystal break away from their formation, they evaporate into the plague wind. Any living creature within 5 feet of the evaporation must make a Constitution saving throw DC plus total, or gain a mark. DC equals 10. So we're going to fix that. DC 10. When damage is dealt to remove crystals, they just melt away. Any living creature within 5 feet of the apparition must make a Constitution saving throw, DC 10, or gain a mark. So if it takes you 5 attacks to get this stuff off, you have to make 5 saving throws, and then you could potentially accumulate 5 marks as a result of that. So, and then there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with the crystals, and then these masks that people have. It's like a plague mask, like from the Black Plague. It'd be stuffed. They stuffed them full of posies so it wouldn't smell bad. But in this instance, it is the substance that you create grants you immunity to losing hit dice and advantage on your saving throws. So that's super useful. And let's see. So that's what those plague marks are. Let's see. So you put the plague marks knocks us in the permeates the area. Isn't freshened. Okay. Enter and then plague mark. This is technical information, which is separate from flavor text. An emerald mist hovers above the moat at all times, while the sludge occasionally bubbles and gurgles. Fresh and ancient corpses, alike animated into crystal zombies and ghouls, are slowly climbing out of the undead tunnel at the point where dot 4 is. Dot 4 is on the map. Here. A gap in the tunnel is enough space out of the underground tunnel at point dot 4 is on the map from dot 7 near dot 4 from dot 7 on the map. A gap in the tunnel is enough space. A gap let's see, a gap. A gap in the tunnel in the roof of the tunnel beneath the fort is taking in rain and taking in rainwater from the bog and is large enough for a medium-sized creature to crawl through into the sludge of the bog. Kindness guards don't patrol over at this part of the fort often, having already written it off as difficult terrain, clear of any threats. Soldiers don't enter the tunnel locked at location 6. Yeah, location at area 6. So have no idea. A small army of undead. From area 8 are shambling their way to the encampment. To the 4 ghouls and 46 zombies have amassed zombies have amassed in the fort just west of the number. Just west, just east. The number 4 dot on the map, and are currently shambling through the moat to the camp. By the time the guards see the undead approaching, they are within 30 feet of the camp, and the guards will either have to fight to stay within the clean air or flee. Okay, so that was in the previous section. Zooming in here, this is a mechanical wind vane that keeps air within 20 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20. So everything within this area remains fresh air, which you can see has the tents that people are sleeping in within the zone of clean air. So when they get within 30 feet, because of the denseness of the fog, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. By the time they get to this point, that's when the guards will notice them. Now, a sneaky player, sneaky players that are creeping around here, they come from the south, which is the forest, and so they can. In playtests, we've had people camp out or like sneak up to these points here and here to try to listen in on what's going on in the camp. I haven't had anyone sneak around yet here. I have had people move past here, going up 3 towards the topside entrance, but I've yet had people come over here and actively explore the fort without dealing with the soldiers first. But if they do, they can then see the undead here, retreat back to 1, especially if they're disguised. If they've already jumped troops already and taken their outfits, then the guards at 1 will not question them at all. If they show up, if they first explore 2, find the undead, come back to 1 to get the troops to help them fight the undead, and then once it's resolved, they can then ignore the conflict between the two and then go explore the rest of the fortress without the Carnathi bugging them because they're fighting for their lives. Of course, if you do that, you got to watch your 6 because you could have a bunch of undead coming up behind you while you're trying to, say, break down the barricade to get into the tunnel. Let's see. So, 2d6 zombies. Let's see, where was that? Yeah, good. So this is shambling through the moat of the camp. By the time the Carnathi guards see the undead approaching, they are within 30 feet of the camp, and the guards will either have to fight to stay within the clean air or flee unprotected into the mists. Along the route to dot number 3 towards the topside entrance to alert reinforcements of danger, which will bring 5d4 additional soldiers within 5 minutes. A hero must succeed a Constitution 14 saving throw. If a character enters the bog, they must what's this? How do I rewrite this? Because I got to put this stuff down further below. So, rainwater fill. I have to separate the technical stuff from the descriptive information. Rainwater fills the sunken depression between crumbling ramparts and the long neglected fortress. The soupy featured immediately. Blah blah blah. Through it, a noxious. A noxious odor permeates from the mire that nearly takes the hero's breath away if not wearing a plague mask, or if the air around the character is freshened. An emerald mist hovers there. Remove that. An emerald mist hovers over the moat at all times, while the sludge occasionally bubbles and gurgles. Good. Fresh and ancient corpses alike, animated into crystal zombies and ghouls, are slowly climbing out of the underground tunnel. That is correct. That is correct. No, that is descriptive, so we'll leave that up there. Good, good. There, this should be here. The undead attack. I gotta get rid of my own feelings. We'll attack the camp. When the undead act as a distraction, allowing characters time to enter the underground tunnel at location 5, area 5 unnoticed, or if the characters use combat to remove resistance at the camp to prevent incoming patrols or topside entrance guards from realizing the characters are infiltrating the region. If the characters explore the bog before engaging the guards, they can lure the undead to the camp, or if disguised, the characters can alert the guards about the undead to then as a distraction, allowing characters time to enter the underground tunnel. Or to follow the path at location at area 3 towards the top side entrance. Further within the plague moat. You can act. Let's see. When the undead attack the camp, characters can use combat to remove resistance to eliminate the soldiers at the camp, to prevent incoming patrol, or hiding the character's presence from any incoming patrols, from realizing the characters are infiltrating the region. The characters explore the bog before engaging terror. Yeah, there you go. So that's thorough. So, Fort 3, path to the topside entrance. It's roughly 600 feet from the fort to the topside entrance, location for below. What time is it? 7:20. Awesome. The heavy fog and the rain, the plague mist limit visibility to 40 feet, making travel between the locations foreboding and claustrophobic. That should actually be... Yeah. 40 feet, making travel between locations foreboding and claustrophobic. There's a 1 in 4 chance of D4 plus 2 guards traveling between the fort and the topside entrance. 50% from either direction. See details about the patrol above, which we have soldiers. Carnage patrols here. We worked on that, I think, 3 sessions back, so you can check the playlists and you can see us detailing that out. Excuse me. If the party is discovered, traveling back and forth, understand each way, patrol. If the party is discovered, 2 patrol will head to the topside entrance to alert the camp and bring reinforcements if combat occurs. Within 600 feet at dash, it takes 10 rounds to get there. That's 1 minute. And then hello, help, trouble, come quick. It takes 5 rounds, so within 3 minutes if combat occurs, which is 30 rounds. You're going to clean it up and you're going to get out, but then you got guys running around. Let's see. Fort 4, Ruins. This appears to be the last evidence of, this appears to be the last evidence, this appears to be the last evidence of some fort of ruins that has nearly been washed away, flooded in most areas. The eroded and weathered stones look as if all of it will soon be under the filthy, flooded rainwaters. Is it possible to determine the depth of the flooded ruins in any location due to the dark, muddy colors of the wetlands? Let's see. The ruins of the fort have nearly washed away. Heavily eroded in the mists. Flooded in most areas. Look as if the remains will soon crumble and fall into the flooded, into the filthy will be into the filthy bog rainwaters. Impossible to determine the depth. I don't think most of that's necessary. preferring to skirt around the ruins instead of crossing through them. There is a 1 in 8 chance. Passive perception of 14. We'll notice movement in the bog while within line of sight of within the left side of the bog. Further out of the breached tunnel below. Any character choosing to any character choosing to climb through the breach into the tunnel below is confronted with undead in area 7 below. Through the breach. Let's go back up to 2 to look at the wording. Rainwater for the person who goes to the lagging, slowly climbing out of the underground near a dot. Slowly climbing through the breach. Climbing through the breach in the underground tunnel. At the point near 4 from dot 7, gap a breach. Climbing out of the underground tunnel. Call through into the bog. Kind of the guards don't patrol over to this point of the floor, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Go down to 4 again, self-referencing. Okay, so any character choosing to climb through the breach into the tunnel below is confronted with undead in area 7 below. Ladders. It's not stairs, it's ladders. Ladders down to collapse basement. Oh yeah, we'll leave it as stairs. Stairs down to the collapse basement. Set of partially broken stone steps lead down into an underground hallway. The festering remote water has seeped down the stairs and into the space. Currently waist deep. Any hero, any character, that's my fault using that language, any character that contacts the water gains a plague mark, and if submerged or spends more than 1 minute in contact with the toxic water we're no longer dealing necrotic damage. What is the language that we use just above? And there, that is technical information, so it goes further down below. Pig mark. Resolved. Set of eroded stone steps, can't use waist deep, have to use feet because short things exist with a waist only a foot and a half tall. Large pieces of stone scattered about the hall, about the chamber. Allows the character to traverse the area of stone staying free from contact with the sludge. Failing the save drops the hero into the foul water. door. Barricaded. Let's see. So, let's go into our map here. Easy peasy. So now we get little rocks for folks to stand on, and then we'll end up like filling this in with color. We should probably create some sort of a watery texture for that. Which means we have to make a texture for the whole bog. Okay. Yeah, 100% here, son. Thank you. Brush groups, brush. No. Which one is it? This is how little I use my windows. I want the brush settings, thank you. And spacing. Let's get rid of spacing. Thank you. That's the kind of performance I was expecting from this tool. Yeah, it's 7:50. We're almost out of time. I think I'll be back later on tonight to work on some more of this, though. Just gonna finish up this fog texturing. I'm going to drop its opacity, and then we're going to call it a day. And then we'll pick it up next time tomorrow morning. Do some more work on it tonight. I expect to be done with the fort by tonight, and then continuing work on the cemetery, which is the alternate encounter area for this act in the this portion of the adventure. If you have an extended adventure, like if you're running the campaign, like if you're adding this to your campaign, you have multiple sessions, you can have both the cemetery and this fort in the environment together. If you're doing this as like a one-shot, you probably want to skip both the cemetery and the fort and just have the heroes be led directly to the topside entrance. But between the fort, the cemetery, and the topside entrance, it's a pretty robust environment for characters to adventure inside of. And then there's the additional, you check back the past few episodes that we had done in the playlist. We have the additional encounters with the little map vignettes that we've been building, which is additional encounters that characters can explore in the area. And now that I have that done, I'm going to drop the opacity down to 50%, and that makes that, yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. So let's see. We'll go with fog texture. Ground. Structure out. Structure outlines. Dots. Cool. Okay, we're gonna hold it there, and let's see. We got the document here, which is sitting pretty. 755. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That's we'll have this finished tonight, and then tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll be working on the cemetery. So thanks for showing up, guys. Like, subscribe, check the link to the different books that I already have on DMsGuild in the description below. Follow me on Twitter to keep updating what's going on, and ask questions. Be welcome. I would love to have you. Thanks a lot. Catch you later.